There was a lot that went down today. Biggest thing, Cassie took the stand. This is the first time that Diddy and Cassie, that I'm told, have been in the same room in the last like 6.5 years.
So it's day 3 of the Diddy trial, and some of the stuff that I'm hearing is so out of pocket, and it's just giving 50 Cent more ammunition. Because guess what 50 Cent just did? 50 Cent took to his Instagram page and started taking shots at Jay-Z and Diddy. Look at this video that 50 Cent just posted to his page. Just the two of us. The sound, the music, it said friends to the end. Jay, you still here? We blew up Kid Cudi's car to show him who's the boss. LOL. You know what's crazy? Jay-Z and Diddy was the bestest of friends, but all of a sudden we don't hear nothing from Jay-Z. So 50 Cent is just basically calling him out like, look, bro, look at all these photos and these pictures of you having the best time of your life. Where you at now? Don't disappear when things get real. Look, he keeps posting like there's so many pictures of Jay-Z and Diddy. Can't make it if we try. Just the two of us. Bro, look at all these pictures of Diddy and Jay. And I'm not gonna lie, I haven't seen Jay in probably the last year. Like outside. Like he don't even be at Beyonce's concert no more. But look at all these pictures. It look like they got a real friendship. So where is Jay-Z now? And that's all 50 Cent is saying. Hey, where you at, Jay? Where you at, Jay? So not only did he post that, he posted this. After listening to today's testimony, I think the dealer should have took the plea offer. The shit they saying is so beyond me. What do you think? Man. Then he posted this also. Damn, he did all that to go out like this, shaking my head. This crazier than regular crazy. And he posted a picture that said, Cassie says Diddy asked her to get an inflatable pool filled with babies. Yo, 50. How do you be getting all these pictures of Diddy? Nah, this AI, because this is floating baby oil. Hey, 50, you diabolical for that. But I'm not gonna lie, it comes right after we just heard crazy shocking testimony. Like crazy stuff. Like, man, listen to this.
There was a lot that went down today. Biggest thing, Cassie took the stand. This is the first time that Diddy and Cassie, that I'm told, have been in the same room in the last like 6.5 years. She went through and detailed a lot. So she gave us different steps of the freak offs. There's about 5 or 6 steps that she broke down. So she said that, at first, step 1 would be this descriptive foreplay. So she says the male escort would get there, and Puff would help her choose the male escort, right? Like it would be allegedly Puff would help her choose the male escort. So there would be, photos sent to her through agencies, or she said they would even enlist on Craigslist at some points. It's not Craigslist. She said at one point they did back page,
I was just about to
and
say,
she wouldn't put
page.
up the ad, but she would have to answer to the ad using her actual contact information, is what she said. So she said they would get they would figure out who the men would be. The prosecutor asked, were there any specific requests when you were finding these men? And she said at one point the only thing would be the man would have to be a black man with a big dick. She said but at a certain point it expanded where, you know what I mean, they would just pick the men together.
Diddy, what you on?
The foreplay would be first. So the guy would come in, they would be touching each other, masturbating, and she would have to out loud describe everything to Diddy, whether he was in the room or not. Then it will go to step 2, which will be touching. So at this point, they're rubbing baby oil on each other, lubricant. But she says that there was like a thing with the baby oil. Like there was like almost like an alleged like fascination where they would oil almost every 5 minutes, because that's what Diddy wanted. He wanted you to be oiled to a certain extent. She made it very clear that they were a very choreographed event. It's so crazy because when she described the freak offs, I'm not even gonna hold y'all. I was like, It sounds like he was directing a music video, which I mean,
That's what he do.
you know, but it sounded like that. Like she
Dancing in your
said,
music
at one point,
videos.
it would only be like, they would get extra linens. There would be a ton of baby oil and different lubricants, and it would be really messy because there'd be lubricant and oil everywhere, candle wax everywhere. But and these were actually smell good candles. She said that he always wanted to make sure it smelled really good. And she said that eventually the candles moved from candles to actual like lighting, like studio lighting or almost like party lighting. And they showed a photo of Puff in the court in a background that, just like the red light that you would get from like Amazon. But she said that these were actually actual studio lights that could change on demand to different colors. She says that she alleges that Puff would even step in sometimes and be like, "Yo, y'all not oiled enough. Like y'all need to oil more." Step 3 would then go to oral sex. She says that sometimes she would even like speed it up. Like she's alleging that at certain points she wouldn't want to be doing it so bad that she would speed up the touching just to get to the oral sex so she could get it over with. And then step 4 would be the actual intercourse. Now she said, depending on how familiar they were with the escorts, because they had some of their favorites. They listed a couple people that they dealt with a couple times, including the man who allegedly was in the room the day that the day that video that dropped on CNN happened. That escort is from a company that they work with all the time, and he was actually a familiar escort as well. If he was even in the room, because that's alleged, right? But she said that he was today. But depending on how familiar they were with these escorts, one of the escorts will be able to actually have sex with her while Diddy was having sex with her. So when she broke that down, she said, like maybe one guy would be like having sex with her while she's giving Puff head, or vice versa.
Dang, Puff, you had Cassie out here a real corn star. That's wild.
She just said it would be a lot going on. She said now there were certain times where Diddy would just want to watch, or even if he didn't watch, it would be a thing where they would have to come on her. And again, we've heard the male escort that was on the stand. I feel like some of her testimony today kind of made him not look as crazy, because Cassie said in her testimony today, she alleged that whenever they did come on her, Diddy would want her to keep it. They would go into a separate room and she would have to rub it on him. And they would go into the next room, and allegedly Diddy would want the escorts to come on his body. And I believe she said it was on his nipples. Yes.
Bro, I can't hear no more. What Diddy are you doing? Did he do it or did he didn't do it? Diddy, you out of pocket. You letting man put his juice on your nip tuck? Bro, come on, man.
Diddy allegedly would want to come on his chest or his nipples. She said at some points the freak offs.
But why? I'm gonna get it. Why? Diddy, you are a zesty disciple, man. I don't care what nobody said. I never heard anything like that. Like, it was already borderline you in the same room and like doing it with a random guy, but you getting dudes off a back page, bro. How you Diddy with your girl, your main piece, and you letting dudes slide on her from back door, and your choreography orchestrating it? What?
To go with allegedly 1 to 4 different men, and they would do different sessions. So it'd be different men, different sessions throughout the time period, and it would last for hours. And she said sometimes as she was being fucked, or even afterward, like they would have conversations about it, and Diddy would ask her allegedly about the penis. Like he would ask her, how did it feel? What did it look like? How did it make her feel?
Man, Diddy, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. That is crazy. Yo, this man is a bona fide freakazoid.
And she also admitted during this, and I know that the prosecution, the defense is going to lean in a lot on this. She admitted to having a lot of the freak off videos on her phones. She says that it wasn't just on her devices though either. She says that it was shared. Like sometimes she'd do it on her phone, sometimes she'd do it on his phone. It would be on camcorders. She alleged that it was between the two of them already. So within the first 10 minutes, she was already emotional and crying, but it wasn't like a hard, crazy cry. It was like a, just her. She was tearing. She was.
Yeah, man, I ain't gonna lie. That's a lot. That's a lot to process. But man, it probably doing the worst. Her husband who just had kids with her. Like, he's sick right now. Like, how do you go in court and hear all of this about your joint? Look, it said Cassie's husband, Alex Fine, storms out of court after hearing his wife reveal what most women take to the grave. Now, the crazy part is, I'm pretty sure she didn't tell him all of this. Look, he mad. He don't know what to do. He's now realizing he made a crazy decision. A wife of a 304 he thought was royalty. Bro, he's sick. He's like, yo, my wife is a porn star. Like, what? Look, breaking it, that be revealed in court that Diddy would allegedly request to have workers ejaculate on Cassie and have a rub on his nips in the next room. Diddy also requested for Cassie to play in a pool of baby oil. Cassie also claimed she didn't want to tell Diddy to end the freak off parties out of fear that he would do it with other women instead. So she liked it. She had her choice. Dang, bro, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe all this stuff that I'm seeing. Oh my gosh. So yeah, man.
So I was in the courtroom where this trial is taking place, and I was sitting right behind Cassie Ventura's husband, and I watched him as he sort of glared at Sean.
Look at Diddy's face right here. Who painted that? That nigga look crazy. But look what the caption said. Cassie's husband, Alex Fine, reportedly glared at Diddy in court while she testified about being forced to sleep with 13 men. Oh my God. I'll be looking at him crazy too. Like, bro, you didn't had my wife. See, now we understand why Diddy didn't marry her. And why Diddy probably don't ever marry none of them. The only person he married was Kim Porter. Now, I don't know if he had Kim Porter like that, but Kim Porter, she clocked out years ago. And that's a whole case in itself. But 13 men?
Combs at times at the family, especially during the period of time where the prosecution showed photos of 13 men, different races, predominantly black men. These are...
Wait a minute. So he had to sit in court and watch he looked at all the photos of the 13 guys she smashed her, and they was predominantly black. This is something straight off of one of the sites, off of the fan bus or something. Gosh.
All men that Cassie was able to identify in terms of names sometimes, and where these alleged freak-offs took place, from cities like LA, Miami, New York, Las Vegas, etc. I can only imagine how painful it must be to sit there and listen to that testimony regarding your wife and the number of people that she says she had sex with because of these freak-offs.
Yo, it is crazy because from the outside looking in, nobody could have ever thought that Cassie was getting trains ran on her, going crazy, because she just looks so, and just to think that that's what she was about, like, yo, that means any woman could be like this. Like, I never would have thought Cassie was even built for something like this, let alone record it, let alone what. And bro, I don't think I'm ever gonna marry anybody, because if Cassie is the ultimate fan bus, then my little old wife that I'm gonna find in the future, who knows what she done did. So let us know what y'all think, man. 50 Cent, you stay diabolical, and man, prayers up for Alex, cause your wife, bruh. But keep it locked. Let us know what you think. Tune into another episode.